Operating system online. Scanner damaged. Repair required. Aerial propulsion jetpack online. Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational. User initialization sequence complete. Radiation protection falling.
Hello everyone, this is Paleo. We'll spend some time gathering materials. The four materials you want to get early game are Ferrite Dust, carbon, oxygen, and sodium. Probably the most important two materials to get first are oxygen and sodium. Also, try to find a cave. So I'm going to do that right now. Oxygen plants are red flowers, and sodium plants are yellow-orange flowers. I wanted to grab this, I'll just do this real quick. This is, as it shows there, it's called damaged machinery. Anytime you see these things, you want to get the item. You can delete the or discard the item when you first open it. Okay, here's sodium. This is critical. This yellow orange. I'm using short menu, and I'm recharging my hazard protection. So that gave me a little bit of time now. And as you see, it's a scanner damaged. I need 75 ferrite dust to repair it. I'm going to navigate to it. I pressed one of the buttons on a controller. It's on the left side. And it allows you to access this particular menu. Now you can press, as it shows on the screen, press the left stick, thumbstick, and now I'm scanning. And I'm looking for oxygen. It's 121 units away, 165 units away. Here's real close, and there's a couple of them here. Okay, right now, the top bar on the bottom left is hazard protection. So I want to continue to get that up. Second bar is your health, which one of the ways to manage that is with oxygen. It's basically the primary way to do it. So there's our signal source. It's 490 units away. We started somewhere up here. Okay, so let's start here. So the signal source is right there. We basically are facing it when we first start. So let me see if I can find the exact spot. I may not be able to find it. Oh, right here. Here it is. See these little symbols in the ground here? This gives you an indication. This is a point. When we first logged in, this is exactly what we were looking at. You're facing this way. So if you get in the game and you want to just go right to the signal source, you just run straight ahead. Since my hazard protection is pretty good, I'm just going to take my time, gather as much material as I can. These little blue crystals are called dihydrogen crystals, as you see it right there on the screen. It says dihydrogen crystals. You don't necessarily need to get that right away, but you're going to need that before you leave this planet. It was right in front of me, so I figured I'd just grab it. Every new save is going to be on a different planet, a different star system. And the one thing you will know is that'll be the same, is it'll be on some kind of hazardous planet. So right now we're on it says in the bottom left there, it says radiation 6.3. So this tells you it's a high radiation or gamma planet. Could have been a cold planet, or a hot planet, or a toxic planet. Those are the three types you would spawn into for your first planet. On some of these items, you may find some of them that are much longer, it takes much longer to mine than others. It'd probably be in your best interest just to skip those. You see one particular item that just is a lot slower than the other ones. I would just suggest you skip that. You know. Okay, so this is the same one we found earlier. Okay, so we'll talk about this. This item here, it actually tells you exactly what's going on here. We do not have on our multi-tool that we use our mining these materials with. We don't have an advanced mining laser yet. That will be something we acquire relatively soon, over the first hour of gameplay. So just move on. Now my multi-tool just ran out, so I'm using the short menu, pressing down on the D-pad or controller. And I just recharged my multi-tool. When I first logged into this save, I noticed that I'm in a what's called a Tier 1
Radiation protection falling.
economy system. That means all the starships are going to be lower, going to be a lower class level. The chance of getting better ships is going to be lower. I decided I'm going to go ahead and play this save, this first star system. You can, at any time, you can just back out and re-enter the main menu. If you want to be in a medium or high economy system, you can just back out. Or if you don't like this particular planet, like for example, I like cold planets a lot. So when my first planet is a cold system, I like it. They just look really nice. So at any time, you can just back out, go back to the main screen, and then start a new save until you get the starter planet you like and the economy you like.
Radiation protection.
With prior to Frontiers,
Technology recharge.
you only had 5 save slots. With Frontiers, they've added the ability to have up to 15 save slots, so you can create multiple saves. And if you're new to No Man's Sky, I would suggest you do that because you'll actually learn a lot more with 2 or 3 new saves than you will with just one save playing equivalent time. So let's say if you played one save and you played it for 250 hours versus 5 new saves, 50 hours apiece, you're going to learn a lot more playing those 5 new saves. And after that, if you want to take one of those 5 saves and put 500 or 1,000 hours into that save, you can. Each save I do this differently. Sometimes I head right, and it really depends on the planet too. The resources that the planet gives us dictates it. Some planets are so barren with materials, you're best off just heading right to the ship, that signal source. And you want to use the ship that we're going to will give us protection, especially we haven't found a cave yet.
Radiation protection falling.
The ship, caves, buildings of any kind, all provide protection from the hazard. In early game, you really want to manage that. Lots and lots of material on this planet. What I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start analyzing. Well, I tried to analyze it, but I haven't installed an analyzer. Let's do this here. I'll get to that.
Technology recharge.
I don't have any more hazard protection, so I have to get moving here.
Radiation
Okay, so that's only 36 units away. Okay, I see sodium off in the distance. I'm going to go after that. I'm going to go after all the sodium. The other thing you can do is you can head right to your ship also. And often at the ship location there's caves. So that's another way you can protect yourself.
Recharge.
Okay, so I got hazard protection up enough. I can keep searching. So I'm going to focus, since I've collected quite a bit of carbon and ferrite dust. I'm going to now focus on getting some more sodium and oxygen.
Radiation protection.
You want to press in the bottom right hand corner. You see a little scan bar. You see your a symbol of your character. When it's running, you can see this little circle, and that's basically your scanner recharging. Once that recharges, you want to press your scanner again and keep looking for resources. So it is 149 units away. This sodium, as of now, is only 60 units away. Plus, it's in the direction of the ship, of the signal source crash ship. We'll head that way. So there we got 2. Go ahead and recharge my.
Recharge.
Each time I find some more sodium, that gives me. Very interesting. We're very close to the signal source. This is building right here. I still haven't. Still haven't made it to the ship. We're close. But I react to the game. If the game offers us things like this, I take advantage of it. Okay, this is called a save and chart. This is a way to create a manual save. Whenever you exit a starship, you get what's called a automatic save or an auto save. Whenever you press one of these save and charts, as it shows there, you get a manual save there. Okay, so we're going to go in this building here. These little whispering eggs, early game, you do not want to touch them. You don't want to shoot them with a mine because you'll get attacked by monsters, and they come in hordes, and they are too dangerous for new players. So right now, I'm just going to go in this building here, and I'm in a building, and this building is protecting me from the hazard, in this case, radiation. We're going to continue to look through this building here, but let's go in here first. It says Haunted Terminal. This residual goop, you can keep it, but I normally discard it. Even if you look at it, right underneath residual goop, it says junk. So that's a good tip for new players, at least early game. Anything that you see that says junk, I would just discard it. And I discarded it by pressing down on the right thumbstick. So I'm going to just navigate through these screens. I'll pause just for a second. You can see on the screen there, it says nanites received 145. That's one of the 2 currencies in the game, and you want to get as many nanites as you can. Oops. I was just attacked by that hazardous flora. Hazardous flora of any kind, if it's on the planet's surface or in caves or in buildings, they all will give you either oxygen or sodium. You can shoot them with your mining multi-tool, and whether it's oxygen or sodium, you can get that material. Okay, and we just received about a 5% chance whenever you repair one of these things, you could get technology. In this case, we received this S-class mining beam. I'm going to try to hold on to that. As long as I've got space, I'm going to hold on to that in my inventory. I'm going to try to use that for a future multi-tool we get. So I pressed left of on my D-pad. I pressed on the left, and it showed showed this screen. And up on the top left, it shows your health, and you got these 3 bars. That's what you start out with. These first aid items here will recharge one of those plus symbols up on the top left. Also, if you see small white boxes on the ground, those will do the same thing. I'll restore shields. Not all that useful. Okay, once again, I was attacked by another one of those plants. I didn't know. I've rarely seen 2 of those plants in a building. Basically, I shot it and I'm obtained more oxygen. Okay, so we've got what we could out of this building. Always look around, especially if you're new. Look around and see if there's any, like right here. Here's another box that I forgot to. I got a little bit of dihydrogen, only 3 dihydrogen, so that's not a lot. Okay, now I'm going to go back in the building because it protects me from hazard protection. It protects me from the planet hazard. And I know my analysis visor isn't installed. It says no analysis visor installed. So I'm going to navigate to my multi-tool. And first of all, look at the menu at the bottom there. It says charge. I can charge this, so I'll do that. I'll go ahead and charge this multi-tool or mining beam. And then also by pressing the X button on Xbox, I can move this technology. So I generally tend to move it over here. One of these 2 slots. There's going to be other technology we're going to obtain, so I try to put it there. And this analysis visor for right now, I'm going to put it here. And in order to do that, we need to craft a carbide nanotube. I'm going to go to my exosuit menu, and we've got plenty of carbon, which is what's required. And once again, in an inventory slot, I press A for craft, navigate down to the carbide nanotube, and I'm going to make 1. And you notice at the bottom of that placard, it says you can build more. So if you want to change the quantity, if I wanted to make 5, I could change it to 5, but I only need 1. I'm going to just press build it right away. So then I'm going to navigate with my right or left bumpers, and that allows me to navigate between those menus. So there's exosuit, there's starship, and there's multi-tool. So I'm going to press X to install technology. I'm going to install the analysis visor. And I'm going to go back into this install. You only have these 6 slots on your multi-tool. New players often install this bolt caster or this personal force field. I would suggest not installing those. Install those on a better multi-tool with more inventory slots. For the starter multi-tool, you really need all those spaces for other technology you're going to get. Just another tip. Okay, so now I've got that installed, and now I'm pressing the left trigger, and now I'm into this analysis mode. So I'll go up. Tell you what, I'll stay in the building here. Here's another tip. Once again, these buildings provide you some protection, but I can press this left trigger, and I can look around and see what technologies are nearby or buildings So for example, over here is unknown building, 329 units, or that's a unit that's distance away. Here's a resource that we can't do anything with right now, but that's 90 units away, so that's shorter. That's a closer distance than this. And often I do use this technique. I circle around. I'm using my right thumb button to navigate in a circular pattern. You can go either way. So right over here is the signal source. You can see it says right there, your starship. And I press on the right button, and that allows you to zoom in or zoom out. So that's another tip for new players, is learn how to use all the menu. If you learn the menu, it'll make the game a lot easier for you. Okay. So the game says reach the marked signal, and that's over there. I'm going to go, before I head over there, I'm going to go create another manual save. And I like to look around too. Right there, it looks like a cave system. So there's a good chance offline I'll spend a lot of time off broadcast looking for resources. I like to get at least 500 units of those 4 key resources: oxygen, sodium, dust, ferrite dust, and carbon. Even as much as 5,000. The more you gather early game, the easier it's going to be. Okay, so we made it to this area where the signal source is at. You can see there's caves down here. It's a good place to spend a lot of time exploring. There's a ship. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to this ball here, this distress beacon, and we're going to press X to activate it. It's a scenario iteration, boundary separation failure likely. So I'm just going to pause at each menu. Broadcast. Okay, what I do now is I'm going to enter this ship for the first time, Radiant Pillar. And we're receiving some more screens. So this is all part of the story. The Starship Auto Diagnostics online. Atlas connection intermittent. Launch thrusters offline. Pulse engine offline. Says I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But the ship, as at least seems to recognize me, the controls react to my touch, or at least to my exosuit. I'm not dead yet. The ship is a lifeline to the stars. So you can either read the log or connect the exosuit. It's going to lead to the same thing, but I'll go ahead and read the log. It'll end up going in the same position. So it talks about log 4925A. Exosuit connected. Pilot should perform maintenance and we're going to select repair ship systems. Okay, so a screen pops up that's saying pulse engine needs a hermetic seal and a metal plate to repair. And I'm going to navigate to this screen here. So by exiting the ship, I just created a manual save. The placard says what we need to do. We need to repair the pulse engine. We need to obtain or repair with the hermetic seal. We need dinogen jelly, and we need pure ferrite. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to end the broadcast, and I'll pick it up at a future broadcast. Everybody have a great day.